All right, lesson 2, polygons and angles problem solving notes. So if we think back to yesterday, some things that we know is that 180 times n minus 2 tells us the total sum of the angles inside a polygon. If it is a regular polygon and we want to know what one angle is, we would divide that by n. Or if it's exterior angles, 360 divided by n tells us what one is, or just knowing that they add up to 360. So we're going to take that as knowledge that we are going to use for some problem solving. So let's look at number 1. Find the missing angle measure. So we've got this 90-degree symbol here, so I know that that's 90. We need to find out what x is. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So first off, I know to figure out what the total sum should be, I'm doing 180 times 6 minus 2. So we're doing 180 times 4, which equals 720. So they should total 720 degrees. So what that means is if I add 90 plus 120 plus 80 plus 140 plus 130 plus our unknown angle x, it should equal 720. So I can combine these right here. I'm going to add 90 plus 120 plus 80 plus 140 plus 130, and we get 560 plus our unknown angle x should equal 720. Now we have a basic equation to solve by subtracting 560 from the total of 720, and we get that x is equal to 160 degrees. Okay, number 2, find the missing angle measure. Well, we have 2 missing measures. This one is back to our other unit. They form a straight line, so they're 180 degrees. So I'm just plugging in 180 minus 64, which is 116. Now, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4-sided shape. Maybe you know off the top of your head how much the total angles add up to, or plugging into our formula. 180 times 4 minus 2, or 180 times 2 is 360 degrees. So these, not the 64, because that's not needed, these 3 angles plus our unknown should add to 360. So 89 plus 50 plus 116 plus our unknown angle A should equal 360 degrees. Just like the last one, I'm going to simplify by adding the angles that we know. So 89 plus 50 plus 116, I get 255 plus A is equal to 360. And then again, we've got a basic equation. I'm going to get rid of this 255, subtract that from our total of 360, and we get that A is equal to 105 degrees. So A was 105, and M, which we already calculated before, was 116 degrees. Okay, number 3, this time we're not looking at the interior angles, we're looking at the exterior angles, which we know exterior angles add to 360 degrees. So I'm going to add the sum of all of these and set it equal to 360. So we've got 93 plus 46 plus 62 plus 47 plus our x values, 3x and 4x. I just put those next to each other to make it easier. Should equal a total of 360. So I'm going to combine these numbers, and I'm gonna combine my variables. So I'm adding 93 plus 46 plus 62 plus 47, which equals 248, plus 3x and 4x makes 7x is equal to 360. We got a two-step equation here. I'm going to get rid of this 248 by subtracting it, what we already have, which leaves us with 7x is equal to 112. And last step, x is being multiplied by 7. The opposite is to divide by 7. And we get that x is equal to 16. So that's part 1. It says find the value of x, then find the missing angle. So I have to go back in and plug x in to each of these. So we're doing 3 times x, or 3 times 16, which is 48. And then we're doing 4 times x, which is 4 times 16, which is 64 degrees. Okay, same idea, just a little bit more complicated. There's more variables in here, a little bit more algebraic, and we need to then go back in after we find x to find the angle measures. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shape. Maybe at this point you know what those inside angles add up to. If not, we're plugging in 180 times n, which is 5 minus 2. So 180 times 3, which is 540. So as I'm setting up this equation, we've got x plus, I'm going to start here, x minus 15 plus x plus 22 plus 126 plus x minus 10 plus 132 should equal a total of 540. We got a lot to combine here. So first I'm looking at, I've got x, and another x is 2x, and another x is 3x. Now I'm looking at my constants. So I've got negative 15 plus 22 plus 126 plus negative 10 plus 132, which is 255. So plus 255. And then set that equal to 540. Then we can solve this equation. We're going to get rid of the 255 by subtracting that from each side. 540 minus 255 is 285. So we get 3x is equal to 285. X is being multiplied by 3. The opposite is to divide by 3. So we get x is equal to 95. So that's part 1. We figured out what x is. Now we're going back and we're plugging this in. So if x is 95, 95 minus 15 is 80. 95 plus 22 is 117 degrees. And then 95 minus 10 is 85. And then what I'm going to do to make sure I didn't make a mistake is I'm going to go through and add those to make sure they add to 180. So 80 plus 117, or add to 540, sorry, plus 126 plus 85 plus 132 gives me a total of 540. So it's just a way to double check my work. For number 5, we're doing the same thing. What I'm going to show you is if you don't want to write out this long equation and you want to simplify first, I'm okay with that. Just be careful. So if I'm looking at this, I've got n, and another n is 2 n's, 3 n's, 4 n's, 5 n's. So if you want to go straight to combining that to get 5n, that's fine. And then being careful with your integers here, okay? So if we've got negative 12 plus 30 That gives us 18. 18 plus 134 is 152, plus 16 is 168, plus 126 is 294, plus 161 is 455. So plus 455 equals, well, we have how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 180 times 8 minus 2, or 180 times 6, is 1,080 degrees. So this should equal 1,080. So now we're going to solve. Get rid of the 455 from both sides. We get 5n is equal to 625. Last step, n is being multiplied by 5, so the opposite is to divide each side by 5. And we get n is equal to 125. So that's part 1. Now we're going to go back and plug it in. And I kind of made a mess over here, so I'm just going to write it kind of on the side. So 125 minus 12 is going to be 113 degrees right there. Here is going to be 125 plus 30, which is 155 degrees. Here is just n, so that's 125 degrees. N plus 16, so 125 plus 16 is 141 degrees. We already have that number. And then here, n is just n, 125 degrees. And just like I did for the last one, I'm going to double check here. So I'm going to add 113 plus 155 plus 125 plus 134 plus 141 plus 126 plus 125 plus 161, and I got 1,080. So I did it right. And that's it.